Hello and welcome back with another summer at Marisol Bay. I was meant to record more of this further back in the week, but it didn't happen. So let's try and get through more today. We will pick up where we left off last week. On my way to my car in the parking lot, my mother calls to inform me that my younger sister, Nova, needs a ride home from her friend's house. I spend most of my ride home scarfing down my fast food cheeseburger and fries meal in traffic. But by the time I get home with Nova, I'm exhausted, and I take a longer nap than I'm proud to admit. There's not much time to do anything but pick out a suitable white shirt and brown shoes that could pass as pirate attire and then go to sleep.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cryo. It's lovely to see you again. The older woman greets me with a smile as I trudge into the lobby of Marisol Bay with an extra large coffee in my hands. Liam is nowhere in sight. Good morning. I don't mean to mumble in response, but it's clear that my body has long since gotten used to this much caffeine in its system, and the coffee cup is simply a decoration in my hand. I reach up and rub my eyes so that I can give the woman a proper hello, but she only laughs lightly in response. Let me guess. You didn't sleep last night because you were so nervous about your new job? That, and I took a nap when I got home. So, when it was time to go to bed, I was wide awake. The woman closes her eyes and shakes her head. I feel a slight bit of judgment from her, until she finally looks up and holds her index finger up in front of her. You don't need a woman like me telling you how important sleep is. Let's try to get you some energy instead. Have you eaten breakfast? Does half a granola bar left in my car yesterday count? I don't normally eat breakfast. Not because I get nauseous in the morning or anything like that, but because either I'm never up early enough or I'm too lazy to cook. Sometimes it's both. I feel that. I never eat breakfast. I scratch my head nervously as Mrs. V shakes her head at me and lets out a sigh. It's your first day of work and you have a long shift.
I always come prepared.
I watch as she kneels down and rummages behind the concierge desk. When she pokes her head back up, she hands me a sesame seed bagel with what I'm assuming is cream cheese and jelly. What? Where did that? Wait. What does jelly mean here? Is jelly like jam? Or cuz jelly here is something very different and I don't think it goes on bagels. Cream cheese and jelly? Oh no. Is it jam or jello? What does jelly mean? Because here, jelly is like dessert gelatin. And I'm a little bit afraid of that on a bagel. Sweet food, thank you. Where did that come from? You really didn't have to. Sweet food, thank you. Where did that come from, though? You really didn't have to. Wow, you really didn't have to. It's nothing, dearie. Besides, how could I live with myself knowing that I let Captain Bailey starve on his first day on the Riptide? Are you sure it's okay? I mean, I don't want to take your food from you. That's courtesy of Liam. He brings us both breakfast every morning. What a dear. You know, He isn't as much of a stickler as he seems.
I apologize.
Though I will apologize on his behalf for comments about your education yesterday. He has always been held to a higher standard than his peers, so he acts accordingly. You'd think working the front desk with him would humble him a bit. He's still a work in progress, it seems. Nevertheless, I do apologize if the dear boy embarrassed you. Working at Marisol Bay is a high achievement, no matter what the position. The atmosphere alone is rewarding. I'm sure you'll have an amazing summer as a member of our family. This woman is amazing. She's already offered me her breakfast. Not only that, she's accepted me into her work family without knowing that much about me. Wait. So this means Liam bought this bagel for you. I can't take it. I get to sit in the cold air conditioning while you stand outside in a pirate costume for hours on end. It will be okay. You're really so nice. Thank you so much. As long as you're a part of making Marisol Bay the best it can be, I'll treat you as I have every other member of the staff. Play your cards right, and she'll even look after you leave the resort. What? I jump slightly when I hear Liam's voice. He pats my shoulder lightly and walks past me towards his spot behind the concierge desk.
Kyro.
Morning, Kyro. I hope Marisol Bay is everything you thought it'd be. And more, actually. I think back to the dine-in aquarium from yesterday, and my face grows warm thinking about the man in the Hawaiian shirt. Oh, I forgot about that. Did I make you fall for me? I am a sucker for a pun. All of the amenities and cute guys walking around? Yeah, I think I'll be fine for the next 2 months. Very good. Seeing as you're early, would you like to wait in the lobby until your shift starts? Actually, I'm supposed to see Brooke. She's helping me with my pirate costume. Brooke texted me earlier, having gotten my number from the work group chat. She was really vague in her message, telling me to meet her in the locker room an hour before my shift. I'm hoping for the best, because I'm honestly too tired to comprehend any big hiccups. Hopefully the bagel helps me wake up a bit. Thank you again for the bagel, Mrs.V. You're far too kind. I'll come prepared tomorrow morning.
Do your best, Kyro.
If you need to vent about anything, this little old lady loves to chat. Consider visiting me on your lunch breaks.
If you don't mind.
If you don't mind me raining on your parade, that is. Mrs. V is the best lunch date, and I can't quite give her up. Liam speaks as he staples packets of paper after Liam speaks as he staples packet of paper after packet of paper, not bothering to look up at his companion or me. Oh hush, the more the merrier, Liam. Besides, a little summer rain never hurt anyone. As I say this, Liam finally looks up from his work. He doesn't return my smile. He simply gazes at me for a moment and then shakes his short brown bangs from his face. We eat lunch at oh gosh. There's always something! We eat lunch at Maher de la Perle? Pearl? It says pearl to me, but Maher de la Perle? There we go. That's good enough. You head to the hub and make a right. Tell Carmella, the hostess, that you're looking for us and she'll handle the rest. Mrs. V claps her hands together and smiles brightly, looking between the both of us. I'll go to lunch with them, if only to brighten this woman's day. She's so pleasant to be around. As for Liam, well, I don't know what to make of him yet, but he's being nice to me today, so I'll give him a chance as well. I say goodbye to the two of them and make the journey to Pirates Cove, where I'll board the Riptide and meet with Brooke. About time! When I walk into the locker room, Brooke cries and jumps up from her seat, dropping her phone onto the floor without a care in the world. Your phone. It's the company phone, it'll be fine. I've accidentally dropped it from the top of the lookout before and it survived. A more pressing issue is your pirate outfit. Looky here! She spins on her heels, turns to the dreaded brown paper bag from yesterday and hands it to me. I bounce the bag in my hands a few times. It feels much lighter. It's all there. Overcoat, pants, captain hat. Checked at least 3 times. Did you bring your undershirt and boots? I did, yeah. Before I can say any more, Brooke is reaching into the bag and tossing clothes at me. I catch the overcoat quite easily, but the hat and pants fall to the ground. Oh gosh. Okay, try this on and let me know what you think, alright? I did what I could in one night.
Okay.
If you hate it, you have to tell me. No ifs, ands or buts, got it? Understood, Captain. I salute her. Brooke seems so self-assured, even if she's rattling off words at the speed of light. I leave to change. Thankfully, this outfit is much easier to put on. There's only 3 pieces aside from my hat and underboots. What? Aside from my undershirt and boots. I let my hair fall down to my back and place the captain's hat on my head. I'm taken aback by how well the coat fits and how light it feels on my body. This is still not the most ideal summer outfit, but it's much better than it was before. When I come back to the locker room, I don't have to fake my smile. I'm genuinely impressed by the outfit, especially because Brooke did it all in one night. I owe you big time for this. I actually look like a pirate. I only make the best. She approaches me and begins to ruffle my hair under the hat. Then she wrinkles my coat up a bit by tugging at it. There you go. Now you look like you've been out to sea. Truly Captain Bailey. You were able to do all this in one night? Brooke seems unbothered and simply shrugs. Oh yeah, the pants are easy. I just cut the legs, burned the edges to make it look more authentic, and then hemmed them so they wouldn't rip any further. The overcoat just needed some more fabric blocks removed. That took some time, but not too much. I actually had fun doing it. I want to design clothes for a living, so it's good practice for me. Well, you did an amazing job. You have to let me repay you somehow. If you insist, you can buy me lunch today at the lookout. The food is good and it's super affordable because of my employee discount. Brooke did so much for me with this pirate costume. The least I can do is buy her lunch and spend the hour getting to know the girl who I'll be working alongside the rest of the summer. Although Mrs.V and Liam asked me to have lunch with them today as well. It's a tough decision, but I only have a 1-hour break, so I need to make my decision. Am I going to lunch with Brooke today or Liam and Mrs.V? Okay, I think we might have found our branch of what route we go down. I think the love interests are Liam and Hawaiian Shirt guy. I think if we go to lunch with Liam and Mrs. V, we'll end up on Liam's route. And with Brooke, we might end up on Hawaiian Shirts. I don't know. Okay, let's go to lunch with Brooke for this. And then we'll see where that takes us. Lunch with Brooke. I know I said I'd have lunch with Mrs. V and Liam, but to my understanding, those plans were left pretty open. They said to have lunch with them sometime, but not necessarily today. Perhaps I can meet up with them tomorrow instead. I'm sure they'll understand. Besides, I really do owe Brooke for all her help. She didn't have to go out of her way to help me. And though she claims her reasons are for the benefit of the resort, I believe she's a good person with good intentions. As wonderful as Mrs.V is, and how, charming, Liam has presented himself as... I think that Brooke and I are going to be a much better fit as friends. Brooke is more bubbly and has proven to me that she's considerate. Plus, you know, she's as closest to Pirates Cove as I have someone who will understand my struggles and on the recreational side of the resort. I'm reading way too much into it, and I shake my head at the thoughts running through my brain. This is just lunch. I'm not laying out the rest of my future. Brooke frowns at me. You don't want to have lunch with me? No, I do. I was thinking about how Mrs.V and Liam invited me to lunch at some fancy restaurant in the resort. Brooke's sadness turns into disgust and she scrunches up her nose. Is it Mer de la Pelle? Gosh, Carmella works there. The absolute soul-sucking... As Brooke realizes the hostile energy she's giving off, the girl stops and pushes her hair behind her ear. She exhales audibly and then pushes downward with her hands as if expelling the negative energy. What I meant to say was, have a good time. I've eaten there before and the food is really good. Service is quick, but portion sizes are small and it's not affordable at all. I didn't say I was going, did I? I agree that the place seems a little too stuffy for my liking. I'd rather spend time with you and some chicken tenders from the lookout. I mean, do you have chicken tenders at your place? Brooke's eyes light up and she claps her hands together excitedly. She hops on one foot quickly before settling down. Are you kidding me? We have the most popular fried foods in all of Marisol Bay. Beer battered chicken tenders, seasoned sweet potato fries, and for dessert, the molten lava cake. I'll have it ready for us by the time we're on break. Brooke reaches out to touch my arm lightly. You don't have to choose between me and them. Mrs.V is an absolute angel. She'll be like your work granny. As for Liam, well, I guess I don't know much about him other than the fact that he and Carmella are close. I'm a bit wary of that. But never mind the resort drama. It's your first day. Be prepared for the Cove's big opening and use that walkie of yours to contact me if you need any help at all. Right. It'll totally... Right. It'll totally be an amazing day today. Yes, I can read. God, I switch everything up in the order of how words are, and it's just... I'm surprised I can read any of this out loud at all sometimes. Yay, depth perception related dyslexia. I hold my right arm up and flex as a sign that I'll try my best. Brooke giggles and returns the motion with a thumbs up. Shall we get going then, Captain Bailey? I give her a salute and the two of us walk out of the locker room, talking and laughing. I'm nervous about today, but I know that Brooke will help out if I need it. This background's pretty cool. Still mad about the interior of that ship. Well, what happened there? Whoopsie. Accidental scroll wheel. As soon as I arrive outside of the Riptide, I'm instructed by Amelia, via work group message, that since today is Pirate Cove's grand opening, my job is to greet every person that steps onto the beach. I am to introduce myself as Captain Bailey, make them feel welcome, and never break character. I feel like there should be an orientation or training for this, but if Amelia thinks I'm ready, I guess I'm ready. Thanks to Brooke, I don't feel so bad, and so far there really isn't anyone here. The next few hours should go by without a hitch, right? Famous last words! How hard could greeting people as a pirate really be? Oh, he's just cursed himself, for sure. Never think, how hard could this be? 'Cause it'll fuck you up. I straighten out my coat and cross my arms over my chest. I told Amelia I would make Captain Bailey my own character. I did say I would come up with some lore for the man, and that will help me get through this whole never-breaking character thing too. So let's see. What does a pirate do exactly? Sail the open seas looking for treasure. Drink rum with his mateys. Whatever the hell he wants. Arr. Drink rum with his mateys probably isn't the most family friendly. Whatever the hell he wants also sounds a bit chaotic for family friendly. Sail the open seas looking for treasure. A pirate sails the open sea looking for treasure, duh. I take a glance over at the riptide, which has been completely repurposed inside. There's no way this ship is ever leaving the dock. For our storytelling purposes, the riptide isn't a newly renovated resort trap. It is a very big ship stocked with enough artillery and supplies to help us survive the longest and most arduous journey across the 7 seas, all in pursuit of long-lost treasure. Not just any treasure though. Captain Bailey is far from average. Captain Bailey is after the most elusive, yet most talked about treasure of legend. The One Piece? He's gonna be the Pirate King! The Golden Dagger of Sir Midas II, legendary pirate hunter. It's said to turn anyone it punctures into solid gold. This has been Captain Bailey's lifelong dream, ever since he heard the story as a child from someone. It doesn't matter. What matters is that now he will stop at nothing to get that treasure, even while his boat is washed up ashore here at Marisol Bay. Captain Bailey is going to ask the guests how to help him find the secret treasure that must be hidden nearby. Now that I've decided what kind of pirate I'm going to be for the rest of the summer, I'm excited to prove myself. People begin to pile onto the beach, laying down blankets, coolers, lounge chairs, and umbrellas, despite it only being 9 in the morning. I guess they want to get a good spot before it gets crowded. Gosh, I hope it doesn't get crowded. The sun beats down on my face and I suddenly remember that I didn't put any sunblock on, and the hat I'm wearing really does little to protect me from the harsh rays. From where I'm standing, I can see the lookout. Guests are already piling up there. I wonder if they have some breakfast specials or something. I can't make out any special facial features, but I'm sure that bright, vibrant orange hair belongs to Brooke. The walkie she's given me is hidden in my jacket pocket since I can't exactly use it whenever I'd like. I don't think pirates typically have this kind of technology, so I'll have to be careful when I use it. I'm lost in my thoughts as I feel something tugging on the hem of my jacket. I look down into the eyes of a child, hardly taller than my waist. His father is standing behind him, with one of those stuffed animal leashes attached to him. His partner is nowhere to be seen, but I suppose it doesn't matter. This is my first customer, the cutest little child I've ever laid eyes on. His tan skin and black curly hair, mixed with those bright green freckles and... No. Mixed with those bright green eyes and freckles. I would be concerned if the child had bright green freckles. I just want to squeeze him into a hug. I need to make a good impression on these two. Who should I focus my attention on? The child. The child. I need to leave a lasting impression on the small child, because if he's happy and excited, he'll remember Pirates Cove. Then he'll pester his father until he takes him back to spend more time with Captain Bailey. Aside from the extra money for the resort, It could also mean more exposure. Kids are notorious for spreading information. Imagine a child exclaiming loudly to his father how amazing Pirate Cove is when someone walks by and hear him. Suddenly, that guest gets the idea in their head to check out Pirate Cove as well. Business models aside, I should really aim to create a lasting experience. Pirate Cove needs to make money so that Marisol remains open, but that's not my job to worry about. For me, as an actor, nothing brings me more pride than creating a believable character and, in turn, an authentic pirate experience. I kneel down by the child and act as if he, his father, and I were the only people on the beach.
Ahoy, mateys!
Ahoy, mateys. What brings ye to me beloved cove on this fine morn? The kid looks up at his father, who smiles encouragingly at him. He motions for his son to answer. The small boy pauses for a moment and lets out a small cackle. We go swimming! It be a beautiful day to swim indeed. Do you know what else you can do? The kid looks up at me with eyes full of wonder. Now is my time to let people know just who Captain Bailey is. My ship has washed ashore on this here island and I need your help. What can I do, mister? That's Captain Bailey to you, young swashbuckler. Captain Bailey! The child toddles in the sand but manages to salute me. I'm trying to leave this island, but while I fix me ship, if you find any treasure, any at all, you have to let me know. Pirate's honor, yes? Pirate's honor! As the child and his father walk off to find a good spot on the beach, I rub my hands together. The first guest at Pirate's Cove seemed satisfied. Now just a few more hours of this. I gaze up at the lookout and catch a glimpse of Brooke. She must see me as well because she waves at me. I tip my hat and hope she can see it.
A pirate?
A pirate lusting after a pretty wench? I hear applause and turn around slowly to greet the new smart-mouthed guest. He's got a different colour Hawaiian shirt on today. When I look up into the soft brown eyes of the man in front of me, I can't help but gasp out loud. It's the same man from yesterday. His hair is still messy, and he's wearing a He's still wearing a slightly unbuttoned Hawaiian shirt, though this time it's a pretty pastel pink. A slightly unbuttoned. Does it even have buttons? I approve. We had a Hawaiian shirt day at work the other week. He's got that same smirk on his face, like he just told the best joke in the entire world. I wonder if the man recognizes me dressed like this. If he does, he's in for a surprise because I can't break character, no matter what. Amelia's orders. Arr. Ahoy, me hearty. The only booty me thinks of a golf The man begins to laugh at my response. He's just like any other patron at the resort, so I need to provide the best experience. Despite a very flirty interaction yesterday. I feel my face heat up. I'm sure this man teases everyone. I think he works at the aquarium. As my mind drifts, I'm almost caught off guard when he asks me something. Wait a second. Wait a second. Are you the guy I bumped into by the dining aquarium? I'd noticed that pink streak of hair anywhere. Me name be Captain Bailey, most dangerous pirate in the 7 seas. I exclaim loudly in the air, hoping to draw in more people to Pirate Cove. At the end of the day, I really want to impress Amelia, so she'll write a good letter of recommendation for me. Then maybe I'll be able to move into a better acting gig.
Really?
Captain Bailey, that's all I'm gonna get? whole staying in character thing is a little hard, actually. What more do you want, Skellywag? I am but a captain. I'm but a pirate, sorry. Yes. My apologies, Captain. You just look an awful lot like this guy I ran into yesterday.
Let me take you out.
I was hoping to see him again so I could apologize properly. With a dinner at this really upscale place. Stop making me say this! Main de la Pelle. My breath is caught in my throat for a moment. This man can't be serious, can he? All he did was bump into me.
Walk the plank.
Avast! Before I make you walk the plank. I place my hands on my hips and lower my head so that the top of my hat is covering my eyes slightly. I aim to look menacing, but the man is still laughing. He scratches his cheeks. Wow, won't even break character for a fancy dinner, huh? Guess I'm lucky I hate that place then. I personally think that the Lookout is the only restaurant people should be eating at when they visit Marisol Bay. Yes, now that I look the man over once more, I don't think that this Carmella chick would take too kindly to his dad shirt and uncombed hair.
I need to try harder.
Guess I'll just have to try harder, Captain. He runs a hand through his hair and smiles. I'm at a loss for words. I don't really see why this man has his attention set on me. Yes, of course. I am part of the Marisol Bay experience after all. Still, there's something I want to know before the man goes back to enjoying his vacation, and I have to go back to serving every patron with a smile and a bad pirate pun. I think he probably works there. What's your name, landlubber? The brown-haired man waves me off with his hand, a smile still on his face. I don't know if that's a fair trade, Captain. When I find out your real name, you can have mine. Until then, call me... He places a hand on his chin and looks into the sun in a dramatic fashion. Hardy, was it? I'll be your Hardy. That's like a friend in pirate terms, right? I give the man a thumbs up, a little sad that I can't learn his name. I shake it up. I shake it off quickly. Who knows if I'll be seeing this man much anyway. How long does a vacation usually last? 2 weeks tops? I'll be here for 2 months, so I'm sure he'll move on with his life soon. I think he works there. He does. I'll leave you to your, cove. Nice meeting you, Captain Bailey. Perhaps I'll run into you again sometime. Just as quickly as he snuck up on me, the man disappears. I stand in place, not really knowing what to make of the interaction. Don't want to run into him again. I want to see more of him. I decided that I want to see more of him. Oh. Okay. The next few hours drag by slowly. I've interacted with at least a dozen kids, some more energetic and exhausting to deal with than others. I'm tired, but thankfully it's my lunch break. I'm kind of glad that I have plans. Acting is my passion, but being Captain Bailey all by myself out there with no other crew members to talk to is kind of lonely. I technically have Brooke, but we can only wave at each other from a distance. I shake the negative thoughts off and begin to head to the locker room to change to my regular clothes. When I'm done, I begin my trek. Though the Lookout isn't far, I'm glad I took off that pirate costume. Staying in character is fun, but so much work. I wipe the sweat off my brow and I stand at the steps. Brooke is talking to a customer. Not just any customer, the Hawaiian Shirt man. He's leaned back in his chair, taking a large gulp out of some kind of orange beverage. Brooke, on the other hand, he's animatedly chatting the man up. This is a little awkward. I guess I'll hang back until she's done talking to the guy. He wasn't actually asking me out earlier, was he? As I contemplate this, I feel a hand clamp down onto my shoulder. I jump up and place a hand on my heart. Brooke frowns.
Sorry.
Sorry, Kyro. I was just excited to see you. I wanted to introduce you to my friend. He's a regular here, so you might see him around quite a bit. Come. She doesn't even give me a moment to protest. Instead, Brooke links arm with me and drags me towards the table where Hawaiian Shirt Man is sitting. I can feel the man smirk from here. Wyatt, this is my friend. His name is...
No!
No! What? No! I exclaim rather loudly, causing other patrons to look at me. I push some loose strands of hair behind my ear and swallow hard. Whoops, I wasn't trying to do that.
Captain.
No what? Not having to see me again, Captain? He's still smiling mischievously at me. I don't want you to know my name. Oh, and why's that? If you know my name, I won't have something to hold over your head whenever you try that nonsense from earlier.
Huh?
Nonsense.
What?
Yeah, Captain Bailey. What nonsense? I thought we were having fun. Is that what you'd call it? I guess it was mildly entertaining. I guess it was mildly entertaining. Wyatt rolls his eyes but chuckles.
Sorry.
Well, I'm sorry, Captain. I'll have to try harder to impress you next time. But I see you're here and not at Mad de la Pelle. I guess I had a lasting impression on you. I mean, we had plans to meet up for lunch anyway, but yeah, he totally probably followed your advice. I can't help but laugh at that, and Brooke winks at Wyatt. I wonder what their relationship is. They look like more than just a hotel guest and his waitress. Anyway, don't let me hold you two up. You have lunch plans, I presume? As Wyatt says this, the smirk on his face vanishes. In place, he's wearing a serious expression, directed towards Brooke. If she notices it though, she doesn't say anything about it.
Right.
Thanks for stopping by, Wyatt. It's always a pleasure. I'll be here when you come back, enjoying the view. Wyatt motions to Pirate Cove behind him. He picks up his drink and begins to sip from it as his gaze lingers on the ocean. I have to admit, looking at my workstation from up here is like a whole new world. A whole new world! Sorry. You can ignore all the kids asking ridiculous questions, crying, and wiping their snot everywhere. Though, I'm sure Brooke gets that more up here as well without all the sand. Perhaps I'll give the captain a visit as well. Wyatt winks at me as his playful demeanor returns just like that. This man is peculiar, but I like him. He seems so carefree. There's something enchanting about that. Tell all your friends that the Lookout and Pirate Cove are going to be the best attractions to visit this summer at Marisol Bay. Brooke is insistent on this, but I know that Wyatt already believes it, at least about the Lookout. Wyatt waves us away from his table. Since we spent some time talking to Wyatt, Brooke and I decided to eat our lunch at an empty table on the other side of the restaurant to save some time. I keep stealing glances at Wyatt the entire time. I can't help but watch the man completely relaxed and enjoying his vacation. Thankfully, Brooke doesn't call me out on it, and Wyatt never returns my gaze, too preoccupied with his phone. After a while, our lunch break is over and Brooke and I have to go back to work. I tell her I'll see her after our shift since I'll be driving her home. Then I head back to the Riptide to change back into my pirate costume. The rest of the day is uneventful, and even the ride home with Brooke seems to go by quickly. I'm too tired to do much when I arrive home, so I eat my dinner, look up some more pirate jargon, and head to bed. When I make my way into the resort today, I'm a little shocked to see Wyatt standing there chatting with both Liam and Mrs.V. It's rather early and barely any guests are milling about. I reach up and rub my eyes. I'm barely awake right now, and yet Wyatt seems to have so much energy. He's animatedly talking with the two receptionists, waving his arms in front of him. I don't want to interrupt the trio, so I try to make my way past them without anyone catching sight of me. This morning I scarfed into a chocolate frosted donut in my car because I heard Mrs. V's voice in the back of my head telling me I need to have energy to work a long shift. She might not be happy that my meal choice was just deep fried sugar, but hey, I tried. I take a sip from my coffee and drag my feet across the wooden floor. Once I get to the Riptide, I need to don the pirate costume again and put on my best Captain Bailey performance. But I'm so tired that it seems like an almost impossible task. I don't even want to think about it.
Good morning.
His name reveal. Good morning, Kyro. Trying to slip past us, I see the older woman peer over the desk between both Liam and Wyatt before motioning for me to join them. The boys both stop what they're doing and turn to look at me. Wyatt is smiling at me, while Liam simply gives a small nod of his head. Do you have a minute to spare? The boys and I are talking about something you might be interested in.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I take another sip from my coffee and approach the group. When I reach the front desk, I feel a slap on my back. I look up at Wyatt, who lets out a laugh. So the mystery man's name is Kyro. Good to know. By the man's body language, I'm a little shocked that he's only a guest at the hotel. He seems to be at ease around both Mrs. V and Liam. Perhaps he stays here every summer. I still think he works there. I still think he works at the aquarium. I push the thought out of my head when it registers in my brain what the man in question has just said. You didn't hear a thing. My name totally wasn't mentioned. Mrs. V raises a hand to her lips.
I apologize.
I'm sorry. Was I not supposed to mention that, dear? It's not really a huge deal. But I kind of like that Wyatt didn't know who I was. It was like a little game, and I thought that if he wanted to find out so badly, he'd have to come back, and I shake my head quickly to acknowledge that thought. I'm here at work. If I refuse to be involved in Brooke's drama with Carmella, I'm not going to stir up my own drama with a hotel regular.
Kyro?
I'm sure it doesn't matter, and it's just Wyatt being annoying again. Right, Kyro? Wyatt places a hand on his chest and recoils back in a dramatic fashion. Meanwhile, Liam has his lips upturned into a smile. I look between the two of them and then back at Mrs. V, who has eased into a grin of her own. Liam has lost all air of professionalism when he regards Wyatt, though his counterpart doesn't seem to regard Liam like he's anyone special.
Whoa.
Me and the captain are great friends, brothers even. He would never say I'm being annoying. I take a large gulp of my coffee and finish it up. Wyatt is a lot more theatrical than I had initially thought. Right, Kai? Tell Liam here that he doesn't understand the little thing we've got going on together. I can't help but raise a brow. I don't know what thing Wyatt is talking about exactly. Liam rolls his eyes. Wyatt is a regular here. But he's always been a pain. No need to humour him for our sake. He'll get along just fine. Both men are looking at me. What am I supposed to say? Don't drag me into the middle of this! Wyatt is surprisingly not annoying. Surprisingly! Liam was right. You're a little annoying, Wyatt. I feel like the correct answer for the Wyatt route is Wyatt is surprisingly not annoying. But me, personally, would tell them, don't drag me into the middle of this. So, I don't know. What do I do? I'm gonna say, don't drag me into the middle of this. Whatever you two are on about. I don't want to be dragged into the middle of it. I hold my empty paper coffee cup and shake it. I don't have enough coffee to be taking sides. Maybe ask me in a few hours after my lunch.
Let me take you out.
Speaking of lunch, Wyatt winks at me, which earns quite a big sigh from Liam as he casually slams the mouse he's using onto the wooden table. We both turn to him and he shrugs. My cursor was missing for a moment. Right. Perhaps Marisol Bay should invest in new computers instead of upscale restaurants. Perhaps cutting funding to the other parts of the resort will accomplish the same thing. Let's not bore Kyro and Mrs.V with our hypotheticals, though. Jeez, what is with these two? I don't want any part of it. I've got to keep my eyes on my paycheck and that beautiful letter of recommendation from Amelia. I quickly brushed them both off. Anyway, enough of all that, boys. Are you going to tell Kyro about the movies on the beach, or shall I?
What?
Movies on the beach? Since you've already started it, V, might as well finish up. Liam has long since begun typing away on the computer behind the concierge desk, not bothering to look up at us. I'm assuming it's an event for guests to watch movies on the beach? Yes, but not just any movies. Pirate movies. Pirate Cove will be shut down for a few hours next week while pirate movies are shown on a projector screen. She turns to Wyatt. All guests are welcome to attend free of charge. The lookout will be providing appropriately themed snacks as well. Hopefully, you'll have the day off, Kyro. She looks from Wyatt to Liam. You two are always bickering. Put aside the differences and enjoy your time at Marisol Bay. Whether it be behind a desk or out on the beach. Aw, Mrs.V always knows how to make me feel welcome. Thanks for many great summers. He outstretched his hand towards me.
Kyro.
And as for you, Kyro, it's so nice to officially meet you. Oh, right. This is the first time Wyatt has heard my real name. I take his hand and we shake on it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a breakfast burrito I need to order. See you guys around. I will definitely be at the movies on the beach. Wyatt stalks off, leaving just me, Liam, and Mrs.V. I still have some time before my shift starts. Should I talk to them? Yes. No. We'll talk to them with Liam's. Another day passes by, but this time Wyatt doesn't stop in to bother me at Pirates Cove. My gaze lingers on the lookout above, but I catch no sign of a Hawaiian shirt anywhere. It's a somber feeling that resides inside the pit of my stomach. With little distractions today, I focus on my work and get through the day as best I can. The next week passes by dreadfully slow. In that time, I see Liam and Mrs.V every morning. I always share a few words with the pair before I go and chatted up with Brooke in the locker room at the Riptide. I do catch sight of Wyatt every so often, wearing a brand new Hawaiian shirt every day. Despite his proclamations to Liam that we're best friends, I don't get to talk to him for more than a few minutes at a time. Wyatt is either spending his time trying to get me to break character, or another guest bursts in and Wyatt slumps back into the shadows somewhere. Though today is going to be different because it's the day where the movies are going to be shown at the beach. Amelia has informed me that while Pirates Cove didn't close, it's still my area, and as such I'm expected to watch it. This morning, extra staff began punching out tickets, setting up the projector, and helping Brooke with food. All I have to really do is supervise and make sure all the guests are enjoying themselves and behaving appropriately. As long as I'm vigilant, Amelia gave me the okay to watch the movies as well. Ooh, pretty. Guests began to shuffle into Pirates Cove. I'm really glad that Amelia doesn't have me dressed in costume today. I wait and watch silently as more and more people begin to look for spaces to park themselves. There are rows of plastic chairs, lounge chairs, blankets, and towels in the sand. As the seats fill up, I can't help but look around. When I hear the opening theme music of Walk the Plank, my heart sinks. I'm taken back to 2 summers ago when I went to a showing of Hamlet in the park with my younger sister. She sat through 2 hours of theatre to spend time with me despite her distaste for it. Now I see families and friends sitting together and chatting excitedly as they prepare for movie play. It leaves me feeling a bit empty. This is a job. I have to keep reminding myself that there will be time for socializing and making friends when the summer is over. I begin to walk around the seated area, double checking that everyone is behaving properly. Afterwards, I settle back into my spot by the entrance of the beach. When the movie finally starts, my mind drifts away.
Kyro.
And another shirt. How many shirts does this guy have? How many different versions of his Sprite actually are there for different shirts? Hey, Kyro.
Hi.
Welcome to the Pirates Cove. If you'd like to see the hospitality stuff. I was there when Mrs.V explained it all, remember? Yeah, I was just doing my job. Looks like everyone is already settled in. Wyatt motions to the seats in front of us that are already almost full. You can take a breather for a bit, can't you? Come watch the movie with me. I contemplate it for a moment. Amelia did say that as long as I kept an eye on everything, I could watch the movie. Besides, it would be nice to watch Walk the Plank with someone else. Movies are much more fun that way. You don't mind me crashing your party? Why would I mind? I literally just asked you to join me. I don't know, you're usually joking. I don't think you've ever said a single serious thing to me. Wyatt furrows his brow and crosses his arm over his chest. Wait a minute. I wasn't joking when I said I felt bad about bumping into you. What about when you asked to take me to Med de la Pelle? Or how about calling me your best friend when Liam and Mrs.V? He frowns. It's almost hard to notice it in the moonlight, but there's a pink tint on Wyatt's cheeks. Those may have been jokes, but not this time. I'd sincerely like to watch this movie with you. Walk the Plank is my absolute favorite.
No way.
No way! You like WTP too? Barely anyone does. It's a classic. The writing is terrible, the acting is even worse, but man, I can't stop grinning when I watch it. What a gift to our culture. I feel that way about the pirate movie. The pirate movie is an absolute gem of a film. It's so dumb and so bad and so weird, and boy do I get those songs stuck in my head. And I love it so much. If you haven't seen the pirate movie, you should find it and you should watch it because it's really funny. I'll watch the movie with you, but only because you have good taste. Wyatt outstretches his arm to link with mine. I look around to see if Amelia or any other supervisor is around to scold me. The coast is clear, so I link my arm with his. I can feel the light sweat from his arm pressed against my own skin. I try not to focus too much on the heat we're sharing and keep my attention ahead of me. Wyatt leads the two of us towards the crowd where we're able to find a seat on a rather big yellow and green striped towel. As we wait for the movie to start, I decide to ask Wyatt a few questions. Do you visit Marisol Bay a lot? It seems like you and Liam are close.
What?
What gives you that idea? Wyatt is sitting like a pretzel with his hands clasped together. Well, every time I see Liam interacting with a resort guest, he's very professional. But the other day, he called you annoying. That's because Liam and I know each other outside of Marisol Bay. I wait for him to explain more, but Wyatt lets the information hang in the air. Now it's my turn to ask you a question. I assume you're doing something outside of Marisol Bay. Are you a university student? Nope. I graduated from college a few years ago with a degree in theatre. I'm working at Marisol Bay for a little to get some extra money. Do you see yourself as an actor one day? Maybe on stage or in movies? I love live acting. It's my dream to be on Broadway one day. What I've seen you do with Captain Bailey is pretty great. Sometimes I really feel like I'm talking to a pirate. Oh, shut up. Hey, I'm not lying.
Thank you.
Thank you. Of course. I really mean it. Anyway, speaking of... Wyatt grows Wyatt grows quiet, and he averts his gaze to the sand. Go ahead. I try to reassure him, but he still looks a bit hesitant.
Sorry.
I'm sorry if you find me annoying when I stop into Pirates Cove. I love the whole atmosphere. For a few minutes every day, I feel like I'm in another world. I'm taken aback by his admission. It's such a wholesome thing to say, and he's being honest about his feelings. Since we're being honest here, I don't mind having you pop up at Pirates Cove. It makes things a lot more interesting. Wyatt subtly points towards the movie and begins talking about the character on screen. He seems relieved to be changing the subject, but I'm glad that he told me a little bit about how he feels. The two of us watch the movie together, both talking so much about the character's plot and writing that someone around us tells us to quiet down. When it's finally over, I stand up to help with the cleanup. So, how was having some fun instead of worrying about work? It was really nice. Thanks for spending time with me tonight.
Captain.
It was my honor, Captain. He stands up and dusts the sand off his pants. I'll see you tomorrow morning, after I get my breakfast from the lookout. Wyatt winks at me and leaves me to get back to my work. It was fun watching the movie with Wyatt, but even better getting to have a serious conversation with the man. Perhaps one day we can have some more. I wake up feeling refreshed. Work has been going great. I end up feeling exhausted before I even have my break at work. Before I even have my lunch break. But that doesn't mean I'm not enjoying being Captain Bailey. On my best days, I'm an adventurer running with my mateys through the sand. On my worst days, I'm a grumpy, washed-up pirate. But even then, I'm having a blast. Today, I'm having one of the latter days. Last night, I spent hours scrolling through social media on my phone while I laid awake in bed. I made the very terrible mistake of taking a nap when I got home, and when it was time for sleep at night, well, it didn't happen. I'm running on 4 hours sleep, and I'm already 6 hours into the workday. Coffee this morning and at lunch did nothing to help me. 4 hours. Join the club. I only ever sleep about 4 hours. I was barely able to say good morning to Liam and Mrs.V as I dragged my feet across the lobby floor. Now, as a child runs around me begging me to say "arg" one more time, I want nothing more than to crawl into the warm sand and sleep. Yes, I love acting. Snotty children I can do without, especially when they're tugging on my coattails. Captain, say it again! I take in a deep breath and shut my eyes tightly. I can't bring myself to comply with the kid's will. On any other day, sure, but today I'm having a hard time even staying awake. Kyro, you can do this, just a few more hours. As the kid reaches for my arm again, the mother approaches and holds a camera out in front of us. Captain, can I take a picture with you and my son? This is customary, though I need to remain in character and play around as Captain Bailey before I submit to their request. What be that, fair maiden? I tilt my head like I'm confused. I try my best to be convincing, but I'm just so tired that not even the acting gods can save me right there. A camera, dummy? The child turns his attention to his mother and glares at her. Mom, look how dumb pirates are. I told you. Pirate Cove is lame. The kid continues on a tirade about how much time he wasted being here, how ridiculous my costume is, and how he wishes he never returns to this section of the resort despite spending the last hour taunting me about the way my pirate accent sounds. Frankly, I'm a little offended. Not everyone has to enjoy every part of the resort, but there is no need to shout the negative feelings to everyone around us. My head is pounding and I want nothing more than for them to leave me alone. What's so wrong with this place? You don't like this pirate fellow? He's the worst part. The mother asks for no explanation and instead focuses her intense gaze on me. You're supposed to be making this a fun experience for my child, not bore him to tears. The kid's mother puts the camera away and crosses her arms over her chest. This part of acting, the forced hospitality, may be the thing I hate the most. I have to keep reminding myself that I enjoy working at Marisol Bay. Today is just an obstacle on the journey. Forgive me. Are you getting paid the same thing as the rest of the staff? Surely it's not so hard to put on a costume and talk to people. You weren't even smiling when I walked up to you. The mother continues to berate my ability to do my job based on her son's word, despite not having even interacted with me prior. I clench my fist but quickly undo it. Fair maiden. I begin to speak and she snaps at me to shut my mouth. Don't try acting like a pirate now. The damage is done. I can't believe I pay so much for my black card and all you can do is stand there looking like a bumbling idiot. My child deserves better. All right, Karen, calm down. At this point, the woman becomes belligerent and is shouting about how I should get fired. I don't know how I got caught up into this mess if I haven't done anything different from usual. Yes, I'm a bit tired, but I don't think I'm doing that bad of a job today. Ma'am. There's some shuffling in the sand behind me. Wyatt walks up to us and stands between the mother and I. For the first time, I see a scowl on his face. It's an emotion I didn't think Wyatt was capable of. I was just standing over there. He points off into the direction of the lookout. He must have been leaving to come and enjoy some Thai sunbaking on the beach. And I couldn't help but overhear your shouting, I've been at Pirate Cove almost every single day it's opened, and I have never had a negative experience with Captain Bailey. In fact, he's the main reason I keep coming back. Hearing Wyatt say those words almost makes up for the woman's terrible behavior. I'm glad that he feels that way about my performance. The mother, on the other hand, isn't impressed with Wyatt's speech. She rolls her eyes and fumbles in her bag. After a moment, she presents a black card and hands it to Wyatt as if he runs the resort. I'm a premium member of Marisol Bay. I pay a lot of money for this membership, and I expect only the best. This sorry excuse for a pirate isn't cutting it. If my child thinks this place is boring, this man isn't trying hard enough. With all due respect, ma'am, he's a person. Wyatt points to me. I'm not going to sit here and let you berate him just because your son isn't happy with his performance.
Absolutely not.
I don't care how much money you're paying. All of us guests are equal. We most certainly are not. My premium membership means more to this resort than your regular stay. She waves her hand towards him as if she's dismissing him from her sight. I don't think the owner will appreciate you harassing one of his most loyal clients this way. This woman, is she serious? Wyatt scoffs. He's unwavering in his beliefs. Go ahead and tell the owner. My name is Wyatt. Okay, if he doesn't work there, is he going to be like the son of the owner or something then? He's got to be important. Don't forget to tell him about the part you were harassing one of his workers. The two continue to argue. What should I do? Contact Amelia or let Wyatt handle it. As an employee, you should definitely contact your boss and be like, yo, there's a problem. We've got some guests fighting. As a romance route, I feel like we should let the love interest handle it. Let Wyatt handle it. I decided not to interject. Wyatt seems to be doing a good job already. Have fun with the shambles of your summer, you shrew. The woman already has her phone out and is typing a message frantically with both thumbs. I really hope she doesn't get Wyatt into trouble. I don't want him to be suspended from Marisol Bay for sticking up for me, no less. My day wouldn't be the same without his goofy grin. When Wyatt stands there quietly letting the woman get her anger out, she realizes he isn't going to give her the reaction she wants. The woman stomps off with her child. Wyatt lets out a large sigh.
Sorry.
I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
What?
No, that's okay. People are like that sometimes. No, it's not okay because you're working hard and she's taking advantage of you. This is the first time I'm seeing this side of Wyatt. He's passionate, throwing his arms in the air as he talks. I have to admit that it does feel good to have someone sticking up for me.
Thank you.
Wyatt smiles at me, all tension melting away. He runs his hand through his hair for a moment before winking at me. You broke character, Captain. My eyes widen, and I place a hand over my mouth. He's right. Arg, matey! I can't do it. My voice falters as I dip my head low. I'm too tired. It's okay. We can't always be someone we're not. It gets tiring to keep up. So I won't tell your secret. I didn't hear Kyro on the beach. But that's on one condition. In a situation like this, would Amanda really care that I broke character? Still, I don't want to be known as the guy who couldn't keep up an act. There's always a condition. Let me guess. Dinner at Mad de la Pelle? It's a good suggestion. But the staff there just won't let me in with swim trunks. Lame, right? Wyatt's grin is full blown, and I can't help but return it. His energy is contagious.
Let me take you out.
I heard from a little birdie that the gift shop has a brand new Hawaiian shirt design. You got pineapples today. You can come with me during a lunch break tomorrow. Ah, figures he gets his shirts from the gift shops. I didn't expect it, but it makes sense. What's your obsession with Hawaiian shirts? They're comfortable. They have a little pocket right here in front to hold my wallet, and they're stylish. Stylish! That's a word. I wouldn't say that these kinds of shirts are inherently stylish, but Wyatt wears them well. Especially with the first few buttons undone. He's got all the buttons undone. All of them!
Captain.
Come on, do me the honor, Captain. He tips a fake hat and bows in front of me. I can say yes to that, on one condition. A condition to your condition. I mirror his words, but I can't quite replicate that wink of his. Name it. You have to pick me up. Wow, don't let the luscious looks and great sense of fashion fool you. I am nothing but a gentleman. Well, alright, I will see you tomorrow then. Tomorrow. But for now, my stomach. He looks longingly at the lookout. Wyatt salutes me with 2 fingers and jogs off in search of good food. I feel butterflies in my stomach and I don't know why. For the rest of my shift, I can't stop thinking about my lunch date with Wyatt. And that will be part 2 of Summer at Marisol Bay. I hope you enjoyed this installment, and we will be back shortly, hopefully this weekend, with the rest of the Wyatt route. This game is a lot longer than I expected it to be, and this game was made in 2 months. It's really long. They've done an incredible job making a game this long, and in 2 months. That's a lot. It's a lot to do. So good job to the developers there, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll be back for the next installment. This was part 2 of Summer at Marisol Bay. Bye!